Alright, so I didn't do speech on technology, I did speech on reading because I'm a big idiot. Um, so there's nothing that cuts you down to size like walking into a strange and marvelous place and nobody stops to notice as you stare about you. That is a quote from Watership Down, a book about rabbits. I was read that book as a child, and right about now is where I would pull out the book and show it to you. I don't have the book. I couldn't find it when I went to my house. But that book is probably like one of my most nostalgic, sentimental pieces from my childhood. When I was a kid, my parents would read to me a bunch, like too much. And like, did anybody else get read to as a kid? Yeah, this guy did. That's why he's funny. So my parents read me a bunch of titles like the Narnia series, Harry Potter, most of the J.R.R. Tolkien books. It kind of made me a more rounded individual. I love stories, I love adventure, whatever. I had books all over the house since I can remember, big bookshelves just filled with whatever my parents had. I eventually learned to read and write. I loved reading whatever my parents had, but up until elementary, I was just reading simple books that didn't really mean anything to anybody, just kind of like bedtime stories. But I really developed a love to read when I was about 10 years old, because before 5th grade, I don't know if anybody remembers this, but you like had to read, you had to fill out logs and whatever, and it was just not a lot of fun, just kind of like an assignment, or an elementary requirement to do so. So I would read simple books and I would record them into the logs, but then just never really did it for fun. The structured class didn't really work for me. I kept up on my reading, but I didn't enjoy it, and I didn't develop a love for it like the love that I developed with my parents. So yeah, it was kind of informal rant against the standardized school, whatever. Yeah, so I wasn't doing it for entertainment. I was doing it as an assignment. I would just read, and then I would go off and do something fun when I was a kid. And, well, I still do the same thing. I was just wasting time reading, really, not spending time with my friends or whatever. So in middle school, there was a big change in that. I had enough time to like pick a book, and I had enough time to read it and whatnot. And this summer, I actually went to San Francisco with my family because my grandpa's from there, and there's a bunch of independent bookstores there. And my dad bought me over like $100 worth of books to read while I was in college because he thinks I'm going to do that. The book struggle for me is having enough time to read. I don't know. It's kind of have to make time to read. There's just nothing else going on. I read. Because after school, I have friends and sleep to worry about. Those are my main two things. So I guess if there's a boring night or something, or I'm done with homework and I have nothing to do, I'll read if I've got something good. The past 4 years, I haven't like read a whole lot of novels or whatever. I've usually kept up on graphic novels and like comic books and stuff like that. I love comic books. I love graphic novels. That all comes from like my cousins. They're crazy into that. But like not just small comic books or graphic novels. I've read like thick comic books and graphic novels. I've read The Watchmen, V for Vendetta. I've read A History of Violence, and they've all been turned into movies. And Road to Perdition, they've all been turned into movies, and they're all great movies, great stories. But yeah, I mean, I kept up on my reading just because like I learned to read, and I've always loved it. I love stories. Just because, I mean, my parents were a big influence on that. The reason I read is just the same as why I read and why I listen to music, why I watch movies, why I do anything. It's because I learned to do so as a little kid, and it's become a part of me. But nowadays, you don't find kids that are open been avid readers. You find kids that are more like, I don't know, don't really want to read on their own time. But anytime my parents call me or my brother talks to me, like they usually ask me, like, have you seen anything recently? Have you like heard anything recently? Any song or whatever. But then they always ask me if like I've read any good books or something recently. And I guess I encourage you all to go out and ask your friends if they've read anything good recently.